war doesn't start with bombs or armies. It starts with a look, a word, a reaction. It begins in our homes, in our offices, in those quiet spaces between two people who have stopped listening. Every war out there, yes, even the ones between countries, begins as a war inside. Inside our nervous systems, our relationships, our hearts. If we wanted to stop war, we could. But too often, we don't want peace as much as we want to be right. So if we want to stop war, we have to start here. Stop reacting. Start understanding. Have you ever wished you could handle your feelings better at home, at work, or with your kids? Sometimes something small happens and your whole body reacts. Your chest tightens, your heart races, your mind won't let it go. And you think, why do I do this? I'll share why with you in a moment, but before we go there, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the conversations that bring more consciousness and aliveness into your everyday life. It's because the ego wants to be right more than the heart wants to be free. Emotional intelligence isn't about holding your feelings back, it's about seeing them clearly without turning them into weapons. And today we're going to talk about how to do that. I'm Daniela Luján, the regenerative queen. I started in architecture but discovered that the real blueprint is consciousness. Because every structure we build outside comes from the one we hold inside. Regeneration starts with being, not doing. Here we remember that we shape our own reality every day in how we work, love, and build community. One of the most helpful skills we can learn is neutrality. That means staying calm enough to see things clearly. It doesn't mean not caring. It means caring without losing yourself. Here's a simple story. Once I brought cheese from my hometown as a gift. I gave it to two people. One said, "Wow, my favorite, how did you know?" The other frowned and said, "Cheese? Do you think I can't buy my own food?" Same gift, two reactions. The difference wasn't the cheese. It was what each person felt inside. Our reactions show what's going on in us. The event itself isn't good or bad. It's how we see it that matters. We've been taught, mostly through education and culture, what is considered good or bad. But what is bad in our culture might be completely normal or even celebrated in another one. Living now in an international community with people from over 35 different countries, I see that so clearly. The things we project onto each other, our judgments, our meanings, are so different in some ways, and surprisingly similar in others. But staying neutral isn't easy. Most of us were never taught how to do it. We learn how to think and follow rules, but not how to sit with strong feelings. So now as adults, we're learning. I'm still learning too, but each time I return to practice, I touch a level of calmness I used to believe was out of reach. I'll never forget this video that I saw some years ago. It was a young boy, maybe 9, that got so angry with his teacher and stabbed her in the leg with a pencil. And the teacher didn't yell. She didn't fight back. She just opened her arms, hugged him, and breathed with him until his anger turned into tears. I thought I wanted to be like her. Because that wasn't weakness. For me, that was the most beautiful compassion and strength. That's what love and calm do. And it reminded me that big wars start as small ones. At home, in our words, in our hearts. Each time we choose kindness instead of being right, we stop that pattern. So, how can we start doing this? We slow down the story. When you feel upset, ask yourself, what really happened? What story did I tell myself about it? And is that story true, or is it the old fear talking? That little pause is where wisdom lives. That's the space where peace begins. So let's make it real. Every night, think about a moment from your day that made you feel upset. If you have any. Maybe you live very happy. Write that down and rate yourself. So I want you to write down from 1 to 5 the different levels of calmness that you can manage right now. So now number 1 would be I stayed mad for hours. Number 2 would be I noticed it but couldn't calm down yet. 3, I took a breath but still reacted. Number 4, I paused, thought, and chose better. Number 5, I stayed calm and kind. Your goal is not a perfect score, but is to calm down a little faster each time. You will see that what used to bug you for days now fades in minutes. That's growth. Every time you come back to calm, you end a tiny war inside yourself and around you. When you live more calmly, people around you relax too. They feel safe to be honest. In love, this turns fights into real talks, and at work, it turns competition into teamwork. Calm hearts make good listeners, and good listeners build trust. The age of emotional intelligence is just beginning. We didn't learn this as kids, but it's never too late. Each time you pause instead of react, you're rewiring your brain. You're healing your inside world. And that's how the outside world heals too. Because peace on earth starts with peace in one person. I'm Daniela Luján, the Regenerative Queen. And if this episode touched you, share it with someone who wants to choose calm over chaos. Because every act of calm creates more room for love, and love is what regenerates the world.